Hey guys, so lately I've been doing a little Metroid marathon, just playing a lot of Metroid games in a row. I was doing that in preparation for Metroid Dread. I wasn't able to play all the ones I wanted before Dread came out, but I played a good amount. Because before then, all I really played was Fusion, but that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about my experience with the Metroid series and how I got into it. So, I was a Sega kid growing up, my first system was the Sega Genesis. My first Nintendo system, I don't think that was either the Game Boy Color or the N64. It might have been the Game Boy Color. So I didn't get introduced to Samus and Metroid until Smash Bros. For N64. And I liked the character. It wasn't actually until Melee that I got into a bunch of Nintendo franchises, because Smash 64 I guess didn't really resonate with me as much as Melee did. But yeah, because before then the only Nintendo franchise I really played was Mario and Pokemon. But when Melee came out, I got into like Zelda, Metroid, Kirby, pretty much any Nintendo series that was represented in Melee, I got into. So yeah, and I believe around the time when the Wii came out, I'm not sure if I played Metroid 1 first or Fusion. I want to say I played Fusion first. I played the hell out of Fusion back on Game Boy Advance. And I believe it was because of that when I got a Wii, I got Metroid 1 on the Virtual Console, which, like a lot of NES games, I haven't beaten because I thought it was, too hard, and you also can't save, so yeah, it was the same with Metroid 2 as well. But yeah, before Dread came out, only Metroid games I had played was just Fusion and 1, and the only one I had beaten was Fusion, so I'm not really gonna count 1 on the list since I haven't beaten it. So what I was doing months before Dread came out, I went back and I played a lot of the Metroid games I missed out on, which was almost all of them, because like I said, I only ever played Fusion. So I started with Metroid Zero Mission, which, is a remake of Metroid 1, just using elements from Fusion, like, save features and all that stuff, and I thought it was pretty good, good way to introduce new players back then to Samus. So yeah. And then I tried hopping into Metroid 2 Return of Samus on Game Boy, but going from Zero Mission to that, going from Game Boy Advance to Game Boy was kind of rough, and also Metroid 2, just like Metroid 1, was a little rough for me, so I'm like, okay, there's got to be something else I can do. And I remembered a long time ago, if any of you remember, I still have the game, another Metroid 2 remake, that fan remake of Metroid 2. I was able to get a copy of that before it got cease and desisted by Nintendo, so I decided, you know what, I'll play that instead. And I was blown away by how well it was made. It really felt like a sequel to Zero Mission. And I was able to beat that too, and I loved all the little, all the little story elements they put in there. You could scan the room and, read about what's been happening in that room, and also read about the Metroids and all that stuff. That was cool. And yeah, another Metroid 2 remake was pretty fun. I do plan to get Samus Returns on 3DS someday, but I don't know when that'll be. There's a lot of other games I have to play. And I believe... Oh yeah. And after I beat another Metroid 2 remake, then I went to Super Metroid, which I played that on my Wii's Virtual Console. And because I know when Dread was approaching its release date, pretty much almost everyone I was following, every streamer, every big name streamer, big name YouTuber, they were playing Metroid to get hyped for it, but most of them only really played Super Metroid. No, I didn't see anyone playing Fusion or Zero Mission or Prime. I didn't any of that. I'm just like, I understand. I guess Super Metroid's a fan favorite among the Metroid fans. I thought it was good. Some of the controls didn't really translate to us, especially, doing the space jump. I guess you have to have a certain rhythm to keep going, otherwise, even if you press the button, you're just going to fall, you're not going to keep jumping. Because I don't believe Fusion and Zero Mission and another Metro 2 remake had that issue. I don't believe it did, no. But that one, for some reason, did. It was kind of weird. But I had no choice but to get used to it, so yeah, I was using my classic controller, because at the time, I didn't know you could use a GameCube controller for all, I think almost all Virtual Console games on the Wii, so yeah. If I had known that, I would just use that, but yeah. But overall, Fusion is still one of my favorites, I believe that could just be the nostalgia talking, but I love Fusion. I like the horror aspect of it too. Especially when you have to run and hide from the SAX. That was that was some intense shit back then. And yeah, and then after Super Metroid came out, yeah, Dread, I believe, when I beat Super Metroid, Dread, I believe, had already been out for a couple of days, and if you follow my channel, you already know I got the special edition of that with the Steelbook, and I got the 2-pack amiibos as well, so after I beat Super Metroid, I just hopped right into Dread, and real fun game, but that's probably the hardest one I ever played. It's mostly to do those damn Emmy robots. Oh my god, having to run from those things, any little thing you do, they will investigate the area, and if they see you, you gotta run from them, and if they catch you, you have a very small chance to counter them, but I've done it a few times, but it's rare. It's pretty much if they catch you, just accept your fate. With Metroid games, as the further you progress, the more power-ups you get, and the game gets a bit easier since you can do more shit, so with Dread, it was the same case. Once I got more power-ups, I could defend myself or evade better against the Emmy robots. Still wasn't always easy, though, but yeah. Oh, that was a real fun game. I'm really glad they made Metroid Dread, and I didn't know at the time that was it was a canceled DS project. I mean, I thought I had heard about something like that a long time ago. I guess I must have forgotten, because kind of everyone did. But yeah, the only Metroid games I haven't played, I'm looking at the list right now. I haven't talked about it yet, I'll get to that later. I have played Prime. I haven't played Prime 2 or Prime 3, and I don't know if I guess I'll count it just for the sake of this list is so small. Prime Pinball, I haven't played that, don't really plan to. And Federation Force, which, that one's a maybe. That one kind of looks like it's the Halo 3 ODST of Metroid Prime, since you don't play as Samus, you play as a Galactic Federation officer, I believe. But yeah, I should talk about that. So after I beat Dread, I wanted to keep going with my Metroid marathon, so I hopped right into Metroid Prime, which I have that. I have the rare steelbook of that on Wii, so I'm happy about that. And I thought it'd be weird going back to a Wii game, having to move, my gun around with using the Wii remote, moving the Wii remote all around, but it wasn't too bad getting back to that. I did that before. I played the hell out of Wii back in the day when the Wii was the new system, so yeah. And dare I say, I thought Metroid Prime at some parts was actually kind of relaxing, just going from room to room and exploring the area. Actually was kind of relaxing at some parts. Some of the enemies, though, were kind of a pain in the ass. The ones underwater, those kind of like ones with like the one tentacle up top and the two at the bottom, and they have that electrical field that draws you in. Those things freak me out for some reason. I don't know. That's why I hated having to go underwater and having to fight those things. If I could, I'd try to avoid going to that area, because those things, I don't know, for some reason, that design just freaks me out, and the fact they kind of pull you toward them with that electric field, ugh. That just wasn't pleasant. What I would always just freeze them, just use the ice beam, freeze them, and then just shatter them again with another ice beam. But yeah. Prime is also, so far, the only Metroid game I've played where I haven't died. I didn't die once in Metroid Prime. Yeah, I'm flexing, but yeah, and if you want to know the game I died the most in, that's definitely Dread. I rarely died because of something else, but, most of the time I died because an Emmy robot caught me. There were like a few times I died because of something else. I think a lot of the bosses kind of kicked my ass at first until I figured out their pattern and I could beat them easily, but yeah. The boss fights in Dread were also really good. I especially liked the final boss against, I think his name was Ravenbeak. Yeah, that was a really good fight. Really enjoyable. And playing Prime, I got to find out, I got to actually see what Metroid Prime looks like before it becomes Dark Samus. So that was interesting. I had no idea what the hell Metroid Prime was before it became Dark Samus, so that was pretty cool to see. I will get back to playing some more Metroid games soon. I know I'm saying it's like I live stream them or I do it for YouTube. I know that, but it's just something I like to talk about. It's mostly I talk about it on Twitter, so yeah. I think what I'll do is I've still got Prime 2 and Prime 3. I can play those. Then someday I will get I think it's just Federation Force and Prime 4, and oh my god, I forgot about. You guys probably aren't going to blame me for this, but I forgot about Other M. When did I play that? That had to have been after I played Fusion. Yeah. But I know Other M is like the kind of the black sheep of Metro. Not a lot of people don't like it. I mean, for me, I thought the gameplay was okay, but like everyone else, the story I thought was just bad. Especially Samus's characterization in that game. I just did not like it, and so I just hate the fact that you couldn't do anything until Adam told you to. Especially like the one part where you're in a hot room and your health is draining. It's like, and you're telling me I can't activate my Varia suit, and then I think after a certain point, then he tells you to go ahead and activate it, and it's like, screw you! I would have activated it as soon as I stepped in that damn room. I don't care if you tell me or not. It's like, I'm gonna die, which I did die in there a few times because my health kept going down, and I think there were other enemies in there too. I don't remember much about Other M. I'm not gonna lie, which I'm pretty sure a lot of you aren't gonna blame me. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't think I'll go back and play Other M. I think it has like an unlockable cinematic mode where you can just watch it like a movie, which I should have that since I beat the game, and I think I still have the data for it, or I just watch on YouTube. So yeah. So with that, let me go back and revise what order I played the Metroid games in. So that would be not count. Okay, so my first one was definitely Fusion. Then I believe I did get Metroid 1 on Virtual Console after that, but I didn't beat it. And then, yeah, I got Other M. I believe I got Other M when it came out, day one, I'm pretty sure. And then after that is when, I didn't play Metroid for a while, just mostly, only thing I heard about Samus was her being in Smash Brothers, which, Smash Brothers I don't really play as often as a lot of people do. A lot of my friends play it all the time. I really don't. I mean, with Sora being out, you want to know how long it's been since I've played Smash? After Sora came out, I booted up the game, and you know how when you boot up the game, it tells you, if you have DLC, it tells you, oh, this character's now available. The earliest one it told me was for Banjo and Kazooie. So, yeah, this was after Sora came out and I booted up the game, so. And I have both Fighters Pass, so I want to let you know that, so. Yeah. But yeah, okay, getting back to the list. Getting off topic. So my first Metroid game was Fusion. Then it was Metroid 1, which I never beat. Then it was Other M. And then for a long time, I didn't play Metroid until I started my marathon, which was Zero Mission. Then I attempted 2, but I couldn't beat it, so I went to another Metroid 2 remake. Then I played Super Metroid. And then I played Dread. And then I played Prime 1. So yeah. Other ones I have to buy, I think that's just Federation Force and Samus Return. Yeah, I'm not really gonna focus on the pinball one. Oh, and I forgot about Prime Hunters. My brother has that. I haven't played that. I should play that one too, Prime Hunters. So, okay, so that means the 3 Metroid games I can play anytime right now would be Prime 2, Prime 3, and Prime Hunters. Okay. So ones I have to buy would be Federation Force and Samus Returns. My first Metroid game was Fusion. Then Metroid 1, which I never beat. Then Other M, which I know I beat Other M. Yeah. And after that, I didn't play any Metroid for a while until my marathon. So that was Zero Mission. Then Metroid 2, which I didn't beat, so I went to another Metroid 2 remake. Then Super Metroid. Then Dread. And then Prime. So yeah. So the 3 I need to buy would be, no, not the 3 I need to buy, 2 I need to buy. Ugh, I keep getting mixed up. Federation Force and Samus Returns are the only ones I need to buy, because Hunters is in my house, so I could play that. I just don't know what order I'll play the rest of these in. I guess since I already played Prime 1, I might, and since they're in my house, I can just play Prime 2 and Prime 3 and Prime Hunters, so, yeah, and then sometime in the future I'll worry about getting Federation Force and Samus Returns. And then there's the upcoming, which we don't know when it's coming out, but the upcoming Prime 4, which I don't have much experience with Prime outside of Prime 1, but I'm hoping Prime 4 does well. I'm kind of hoping, because some of the newer Metroids have done this, given Samus melee attacks or counters, stuff like that. Other M did that, and so did Dread, which I thought was really cool. So I'm kind of hoping in Prime 4, maybe they can give her some kind, like a melee attack or like a counter. Because a lot of FPSs these days, and I know, yes, Prime isn't considered, even Nintendo said Prime, they don't consider Prime a first-person shooter, they consider it a first-person adventure, which I agree with. It's kind of like Halo. It's more of an adventure game rather than just go here, shoot them, go here, shoot them, go here, shoot them. Though I think Prime does it better. I think Prime had more puzzle and adventure elements than Halo did. I could be wrong. I kind of wonder if they could do that with Prime 4, where Samus has like a melee attack or a counter or both. But I guess we'll have to find out. I'm still surprised, though, when Prime 4 was being made, it wasn't even being made by Retro Studios. It was initially developed by Bandai Namco Studios, and Nintendo, they said they weren't satisfied with the progress, so it went to Retro. I'm like, why wasn't Retro making it in the first place? Like, what happened? Did they not want to, or did Nintendo not want them to, or what? I don't fucking know. And I'm also wondering, where in the timeline would Prime 4 take place? Would this come after Dread, is what I want to know. And I don't know, would Dark Samus be back again? Because it's like, you think you killed Dark Samus in Prime 2, but then she comes back in Prime 3. But then when Prime 3 ends, if you get the 100% ending, because I know this because I watched my brother play it back in the day, because my brother actually 100%ed Prime 3. When you get the 100% ending in Prime 3, you see another spaceship following her, which I believe is one of the hunters from Hunters. So, would that be like a rival character, or would that be like the main enemy in Prime 4? Is like Dark Samus, like I said, is Dark Samus going to come back? Or even one article I saw kind of suggested that maybe Samus herself would be the enemy, because, now she has, her Metro DNA has awakened in her after, if you saw the ending of Dread. But I'm like, I don't know, I don't think they want to pull another Federation force where you don't play as Samus, you play as a Galactic Officer. I don't think Nintendo wants to do that again. I'm pretty sure we're going to be playing as Samus. So, yeah, I don't think that's going to be true. But, yeah, Metroid is a series I really like. It's very underrated. I'm glad they revived it. Geez, yeah, Samus Returns. There was a big gap between Samus Returns and Dread. 4 years. Whew. But, yeah, let's hope that we can see some more Metroid games in the future, because Dread did really well. And even when Dread was announced, like, sales for Metroid games on the Wii U's Virtual Console skyrocketed from what I saw. Like, people were buying up, I believe on the Wii U's Virtual Console you can get Fusion, Zero Mission, Prime Trilogy, and I wonder if you could get Prime Hunters on there. That is a DS game. That's telling people, yes, they want Metroid back, and so many people were happy when they announced a new Metroid game, so yeah. With Dread doing well, and hopefully when Prime 4 comes out and that does well, they keep making more Metroid games, so yeah. I really hope so. It's a series that needs to keep going. And I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard it's actually more popular in America than it is in Japan. It's kind of funny, but it's not the first time I've heard something like that where even though it's Japanese made, it's more popular overseas, so yeah. But yeah, I think this will do for this video. I just wanted to give my thoughts on Metroid as a whole, what I've experienced so far. I still have a few other games to play, so... But I wanted to make this now because I think I've pretty much played most of what Metroid has to offer. Prime 2 and 3 and Hunters are probably going to feel more or less like Prime 1. Not that that's a bad thing. And Federation of Force as well. And then Samus Returns, I've already played. I know the story of Metroid 2, so... I know Samus Returns adds a few things. Like, I know it takes some elements that were brought in from Prime. So, yeah, so... If I feel like I need to, I'll make a part 2 of this, but for now, I don't think I need to. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you want, just let me know what you think of Metroid in the comments below. Let's get some Metroid discussions going on. And what are you hoping to see in Prime 4, and are you also wanting the Metroid series to keep going? Let me know. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, check out my Patreon, all the good social media jazz, and I will see you guys next time. Make sure to wash your hands, keep your distance, wear a mask, and most importantly, have a good day. Bye.